Right, our next step is to draw in our trees. Again, the trees are going to be very simple shapes, and as you'll see, in some respects, drawing the trees is similar to drawing the clouds because you're going to use that similar circular motion. And then we will just add in some highlights. So far, we've been drawing with the medium chalk, or the medium green, and the very light green. I'm going to come in now with a darker green, and again, going to just come in. Now, I'm not going to use the entire side. I'm actually using more of the tip now, but still kind of a flat surface, and I'm drawing those same kind of cloud shapes that I drew before. Okay. But I'm first letting a little bit of the background light shine through. And I'm also trying to vary the shapes enough to where it doesn't just look like a straight line of trees coming down. Okay, so that's okay. Now it doesn't look like much right now, but that's where we start. Okay, again, I'm gonna blend, but again, I don't want to block out all of the light, because if you look at a tree, you're going to see that some of the background light shines through. So I'm going to come in, and this time I'm going to do, again, very similar to what we did with the clouds, laying in just some other lines that are going to give us a little definition. These are all deciduous trees. Not putting any evergreens in this batch. Now, to get some separation, I'll use a little bit of yellow-green, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to highlight. Again, this isn't going to be so much highlight as if the sun is hitting it, but I'm just going to give some of the foliage a little different color than the tree behind it. And then I'm going to come down here, do the same thing. And do this very quickly. Okay. Now, to give it a little bit more of a tree feel, you can come in with, I would say, something like a very dark blue. In fact, I've got a darker blue here. Try to avoid using black when you can. Black really draws the eye. It also kind of kills color. I'm just going to come in and lay in just some hints of branches. Don't have to draw them all. Now here I am using the corner. Okay. And you may not even be able to see those very well. But again, very, very simple. Just use your cloud shapes. Now if you'll notice, with this one, I actually came in, but I was using colored pencil with this, so I added a lot more detail than I normally do. Normally, as if I'm doing a chalk drawing, it's going to be very similar to this. It's going to be just general tree shapes. This is kind of an impressionistic style. The further away you get from it, then the eye begins to resolve it and make it look like trees as opposed to just some green blobs. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in with my yellow. This is yellow-green, and I'm just going to cut in a line just like that. Because what that does is when I smooth it out, then it defines my hill and my trees. Okay. And the other thing I'm going to do is, see, our mountains end here, but I've still got some green. So I'm going to come in here with that lighter green, and I'm going to just fill that out there so we've got kind of some hills. Use that yellow-green just to define my hills. Okay, so there I've got the trees. If you want to define the trees even more, you can. Just come in with a little bit more pressure when you work on the on the yellow or the yellow-green part of the trees. If you want to take a dark brown like this, you can throw in some of the branches or trunks. I don't do that too much because, again, those will tend to draw the eye, and this isn't where I want the primary focus to be. In fact, I'm going to come in and actually soften that just a bit with my blending stump. Blending stumps are really good with pastels, but you got to be careful because one thing they tend to do is they tend to lift chalk off of the paper. So you don't want to necessarily overuse them because you're kind of defeating your purpose by taking off the chalk that you just put on. So, okay, so there's our kind of a distant bank of trees. Now the next thing that we're going to do is going to be the biggest portion of this drawing, and that's going to be the yellow field in the foreground. So go do your trees and then come back for the next session, and we'll work on the yellow foreground field.